Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. Let's get into NXT from August the 20th, 2024. A very solid, fun show. No Mercy is shaping up to be pretty fun, and I can't wait. So we kicked the show off with a parking lot brawl between Carmen Petrovich and Jacy Jayne. So Jacy Jayne took her out. It's been a while since we've seen the vicious parking lot take somebody out. It's been a minute, so it's kind of cool to see. So makes sense. Moving on, so this leads us into Chase U. They come out for their championship celebration. So all of Chase U, they praise and prop up Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland basically thanks everybody for having his back and everything else. Him being champion, it's been cool. He's been wanting to do it for 6 years. He finally won a championship. And he said the mission was accomplished last week when he won the NXT Tag Team Championships. So Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they come out. They want a rematch, basically, and they also congratulate Chase U for winning the titles from them. They mentioned the only reason why they won was because of the fact that they were spread thin. They had to deal with the Rascals at the time and other tag teams, but they want their rematch. So Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne, they're like, sure, you can get it. You can get the rematch if you beat us at, right here and right now. So this leads us into our first match of the night. Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they defeat Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne. So it's going to be a rematch at No Mercy. Chase U, Ridge Holland, and Andre Chase taking on Axiom and Nathan Frazier for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Interesting. Down for it. Seems like fun. We'll see what happens. Really good stuff. Really good segment. Chase U is still over, and I like it. Moving right along. So, Ava, she's backstage dealing with Mr. Stone, or Robert Stone, and Stevie Turner about Carmen Petrovich not being cleared. So Jacy Jayne, she shows up and she demands to be the replacement. Ava's like, nope, she doesn't reward bad behavior. And instead, her replacement is going to be Brinley Reese. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Who really cares? Moving on. So Brinley Reese, she is in the locker room. She's excited to be in the eliminator match. So Ren Sinclair, she shows up and she says that she's going to bring the women's title to Ren QCC. And then the women, they continue to bicker back and forth, so that's fine. This leads us into Lola Vice versus Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu defeats Lola Vice with the help of a loaded pillow. It had in it the NXT Women's North American Championship. So Kalani Jordan came out towards the end of the match to fight Wendy Chu. And via accident, Lola Vice took out Kalani Jordan via the spinning back fist. And Wendy Chu won. So she wins. So that makes sense. Post-match, Kalani Jordan gets on the mic and she challenges Wendy Chu to a match at No Mercy for a championship. And then Kalani Jordan hits Wendy Chu with the loaded pillow and pulls her title out of the pillow. And she holds it high. So that's fine. Really cool stuff. What I'm shocked about is for the fact that Wendy Chu's been doing this heel gimmick for about 6 weeks, and there still has been no damn explanation as to why. It's dumb. I just don't get it. We need an explanation. Please, Shawn Michaels, give us an explanation. Please, man. Please, bro. Just do it. Moving on. So, Wes Lee, he is having a backstage interview with Kelly Kinnaid. So, Wes Lee says that Pete Dunne is talented in the ring, but he's going to be sent back to Raw angry and bitter. So, Wes Lee says that Joe Hendry will return to TNA empty-handed and be back on Thursdays, where he can swing his arms side to side. So then we see a split screen. So Sarah Schreiber's interviewing Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry talks about how disrespectful Wes Lee was to his friends. Wes Lee blows off Joe Hendry and then leaves the interview segment. So Joe Hendry talks about how he's going to be in the ring with the two top athletes. With two top athletes. Joe Hendry says he spent the last 10 years making believers out of the fans, but he'll make a believer in himself when he wins the NXT Championship. Nice. Really good shit there. Loving Joe Hendry. Moving on. So, we get a promo from Jazmyn Nyx, Jacy Jayne, and Fallon Henley. So, Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley, they talk trash about the NHL rookies and compare it to how she and Jacy Jayne grinded on the indies. Then they praised Jazmyn Nyx for following their lead. So Jacy Jayne and Fallon Henley didn't talk about being friends before WWE and how they're going to take over the women's division. And they call themselves the Fatal Influence. They say, we are the example, we are the leaders, we are the Fatal Influence. I'm like, what the fuck? The vignette was great. But that name, Fatal Influence, this is so stupid. Triple H, bro, stop coming up with these lame-ass names. And these women need something to fight for. So can we please bring back the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships? We need them. These women need something to fight for. There's no need to have a new faction, and you have no championship to fight for. It just doesn't make any sense. You need titles to fight for. Sure, you can have one of the women go after the NXT Championship or the North American Women's Championship for an example, but that's not going to happen. We need something for these women to do. It has to happen. But the vignette was solid. It was great. I enjoyed it. That name, that was an abomination. Moving on. So, the No Quarter Catch crew, they come out next. My bad. No. Let's listen to the 6-woman gauntlet match. So, Jaida Parker wins. So she defeats Saruka. And the match was solid. It was not your standard gauntlet match from years past. So it was a lot faster. It was fun. And I really enjoyed it. And it came down to Saruka and Jaida Parker. So this makes sense. So Jaida Parker taking on Roxanne Perez at No Mercy should be fun. And Jaida Parker defeating Saruka was the right decision. But I don't understand why you don't turn Jaida Parker face, which they probably will. They probably will end up turning her face. So it should be interesting. But the match between her and Roxanne Perez should be fun. So post-match, Jaida Parker says that she's got next, and that my bad, that she's got next, basically. She's got next, so that's fine. So Then we see Roxanne Perez. She's looking smug. So that's fine. Match should be solid as shit. Good stuff. Miss Parker is so fine. Moving on. So Kelly Kinnaid, she has a backstage interview with Ethan Page. Ethan Page, he's gloating about stuff. Then Pete Dunne shows up. Pete Dunne says that he sees that Ethan Page, like everyone else who's afraid of him. Pete Dunne says that when he was in NXT, my bad. Pete Dunne says that he was NXT UK champion for over 600 days. So when he becomes champion, he'll keep the belt. So that's fine. And he's going to break Ethan Page's fingers and his ego. Who gives a shit? This leads us into Hank and Tank versus the OC. Hank and Tank win. I don't give a fuck about the OC. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. I don't care about the Good Brothers at all. Nope. Send them to New Japan or wherever else, but get them off of my television, please. And thank you. Moving on. So Shawn Spears, he's backstage. He's cutting a promo. So he's cut off by Idris NFA and Malik Blade. They know that he's corrupting Brooks Jensen. So Idris NFA and Malik Blade, they said that they're looking out for a friend. Shawn Spears then mocks them for ditching Bentley Reese, and then Shawn Spears attacked both men, and then both guys beat the shit out of Shawn Spears, and they toss him into some equipment. And then Brooks Jensen runs over to check on Shawn Spears. This was great. I love this. Shawn Spears getting his ass kicked is great. More of this, please. Great stuff. So I do like this. It's pretty interesting that Idris NFA and Malik Blade are finally showing some fire. I've always liked those guys since NXT 2.0. So it's interesting that they're finally getting some a fair shake. So this should be fun. Moving on. So the No Quarter Catch crew, they come out. Charlie Dempsey gets on the mic, and he says that the Heritage Cup is the oxygen that the NQCC needs to live. Ren Sinclair takes the mic. She stops Charlie Dempsey. Dempsey then continues and says that he plans on making the cup the most prestigious title in NXT. Then Ren Sinclair steps on his line again and says Dempsey will face anyone at any time. So Oba Femi comes out and she immediately apologizes to Charlie Dempsey, which is funny. So Oba Femi gets on the mic. He congratulates Charlie Dempsey, but he says the most prestigious title is his North American Championship. Oba Femi says that he will not hesitate to add Dempsey to his list of victims. Then Tony D and Stax and the family, they come out. Tony D says that he no longer wants the cup. He wants the North American Championship. And then he snaps his fingers, and then the Tony D'Angelo family, they brawl with the No Quarter Catch crew. And then there's an awesome stare down between Oba Femi and Tony D. So Oba Femi was going for his powerbomb, but immediately Tony D reverses that into a spinebuster, and I'm like, holy shit. And then he grabs the North American Championship and he places it on the shoulders of Oba Femi. This was great. I love this. This was really fucking good. I am down for Oba Femi versus Tony D. Sign me up. This is great. I am super ecstatic over this. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Moving on. So Ashanti the Adonis, he's backstage. He's trying to hit on some developmental women, but they got distracted and they're attracted to Deion. So the camera pans to Ren Sinclair. She's handing the Heritage Cup to Javon Evans to take care of it while she has to do something. So Gallus, they show up, and then and brags about Mark Coffey being a former Heritage Cup champion. So Cedric Alexander, he shows up to have Javon's back, and then Joe Coffey jokes that Cedric Alexander is playing the role of Javon Evans' pops, and Gallus says, then Gallus then did a bit more than clowning before walking off. So that's fine. Makes sense. Should be fun. Moving right along, Ashanti the Adonis, he defeats Deion Lennox via the Sweet Chin music. Really good stuff. Really fun stuff. So I like this. This signifies that he's no longer a tag team or in the tag team with Cedric Alexander, so they are no more, basically. For those of you guys that don't know who Deion Lennox is, he's a talent that's on NXT Level Up all the time. He's pretty decent, and the match is pretty solid, so this is good. Basically, his character is basically just a nerdy black guy who gets all the women, and they love him. So he's a bookworm. This is really cool. I like it. Pretty good shit. Interesting. And Ashanti the Adonis is great. Love it. Moving on. So Lexis King, he's in the back. He's showing he's showing coaching a random person to polish his personal throne. So then we see Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. So they talk about how they're going to teach Fatal Influence a lesson next week, and then Lexis King cuts in to hit on the women while also mocking them as Meta 2. And Lexis King leaves, and Oro Mensah shows up, and he encourages Last Legend and Jakara Jackson. So this is cool. I like it. So it seems like Lexis King is just going to be this mid-card guy. He has no championships in sight, although I think he should be the NXT North American champion. I think he can be good at that role. I don't know if he'll become NXT champion. Maybe he will in due time, but we'll have to wait and see. But right now, Lexis King is incredibly mid. So that's fine. So this leads us to the main events. Triple threats. Wes Lee, Joe Hendry, Pete Dunne. Joe Hendry wins via the help of Trick Williams. So towards the end of the match, Wes Lee, he was chokeslammed through the announce table. The table didn't break. Joe Hendry did the standing ovation. He did it again in the ring to Pete Dunne. Ethan Page wasn't having it. He pulled the referee out at 2. He jaw-jacked with the referee. And then Pete Dunne, he hit the bitter end on Joe Hendry. Trick Williams came in and he hit Pete Dunne with the trick shot, and Joe Hendry just falls into the cover for the 1, 2, 3. Joe Hendry wins. This was great. This was excellent. I love this. So Wesley, he gets up. He is distraught. He's pissed off. And then Zachary Wentz, he comes from the crowd, and him and Wesley, they have a brawl. And that was the end of NXT. So this was good. This makes perfect sense. I'm down for No Mercy. No Mercy seems fun. The partnership between NXT and TNA is working out quite fine. I do think in due time we'll probably get some top NXT guys going to TNA for a little bit. Maybe like Trick Williams or maybe even like a Pete Dunne, since Bound for Glory is coming up. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happens in due time. I know people don't like the partnership, but the partnership is actually doing really good. TNA's continuing to sell out shows and stuff, and they're doing well on their tapings. Although we haven't seen any ratings for a minute, but it is what it is. But the partnership is great, and I do like it. Albeit they are going to snatch Jordan Grace and in due time Joe Hendry from TNA. But I think if that does happen, then TNA should get, if they can, get the Velveteen Dream. I think that would be great. Sign him for a year or two for the promotion, and then that way he can get back into the good graces of WWE. I think that would be great. Because Velveteen Dream basically was sincere in his apology and everything. He was. But NXT was great. It was solid. It was fun. I'm down for it. Jaida Parker winning was the right decision. It makes perfect sense. No Mercy is shaping up to be very, very fun. It should be a very fun show. It seems like it's going to be long because we might get probably 7 matches. Oba Femi and Tony D should be fun, as well as Wesley and Zachary Wentz. That should be fun. Roxanne Perez and Jaida Parker should be fun. Ethan Page and Joe Hendry should be fun. So it should be like a good fun time. Really good shit. And I'm very excited for No Mercy. But what did you guys think of NXT? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.